The holidays are underway, and I have a fantastic holiday countdown banner ready for you. No, that was horrible. Okay, hold on. Stop.
You're like hesitating.
I know, because I couldn't remember what I called it.
Okay, maybe you should like put the words on your fingers at first.
That would be a good idea. No, I think I got this.
Okay.
Okay, the holidays are underway, and I got a fantastic holiday countdown banner ready for you. It's easy, it's simple, it's fun. You can do it with your kids, and I'm going to show you how it's done, so stick around. Okay, before we get started, I want to talk about supplies. So we're crafting and sewing. That means a few more supplies than normal, but it's not scary, it's not intimidating at all. So let's get started, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to have 5 by 5 inch decorative fabric squares. Of course, you can use charm packs, but you can also cut your own. So you want to have 5 by 5 inch squares, holiday style. Second thing you're going to do is we're going to have flannel, and our flannel is cut 6 inches by 5 inches, and you can use white, you can use cream, you can use whatever color you want. You want to have a ruler of some sort. I'm going to use a sewing gauge, and you want to have a marking tool of some sort. You can use a fabric marking pen, you could use chalk, or you could use a pencil like I'm going to do today. Then we have sewing shears and pinking shears, which I love. I'm going to show you how cool these are in just a few minutes. We have double fold bias tape and Fabri-Tac, my absolute favorite thing on the planet when I'm not sewing, and I'm going to tell you all about that in a bit. Then I've got key tags is what I used for my bunting, each one to like label the days and the numbers for the countdown. And then the final thing is ribbons. So those are my supplies. And I have one more thing that I wanted to share with you. I actually entrusted a very special helper to make this blog post a little bit more fun. So I'm going to bring her out. Come on out, little helper. So this is my daughter, Olivia, and we were trying to come up with some ideas that would be more activity-based that we could tuck into each one of these banner pockets. Of course, all kids love a little candy cane or a chocolate treat or whatever, but sometimes it's nice to put things in that are more activity-driven and more fun things that you can actually do together as a family. So Olivia and I came up with a few really cute ideas, so you want to check the end of this blog post to check those out. But Olivia, you want to give them a preview of what a few of those were?
So 2 ideas that I want to tell you is you can make cookies with your parents, or you can make paper snowflakes.
Yep. And there are plenty of other adorable ideas at the bottom of this blog post, so check them out, and that way you can have, fun with your kids and not just watch them eat chocolates. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started.
Although I would like that.
I'm sure you would.
Okay.
So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and prep all of our fabric squares. And that means taking each one of the 5 by 5 inch decorative fabrics, turning them pretty side down, and folding them right at the top about a 1/2 inch down. Now you can use a sewing gauge, but that's really not necessary. All right, so go ahead and fold it down, and then you're going to take it over to the iron, and you're going to give it a nice press. All right, now that you have ironed down all of your 5 by 5 inch squares, what you want to do next is you want to take it over to the sewing machine and sew right across. That way it will permanently tamp down your fold, and it won't be going anywhere. It'll stay secure. All right, now that my decorative squares have been sewn along, the next thing I need to do is assemble my pennant banner pockets. So I want to grab my flannels. So what I want to do is I want to grab one piece of flannel and take my decorative square and put it right on top. Now you'll notice above there is a piece of the flannel all showing. Then I've got my stitched line right here, my folded pretty stitch line. That's going to be where my pocket goes, right through here. And then I've got all of my raw edges lining up, the flannel as well as the decorative fabric on the top, all lining up through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, my sandwiched pieces and fold them right in half and do a nice little press. And then I want to grab my ruler. On the side, so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at my flannels with the raw edges folded. All the raw edges are going to be on the left-hand side. The folded edge is going to be on my right-hand side. This is important in order to get the pennant style that we're really looking for. So what I want to do is take my ruler and I want to draw a line right at the 2-inch mark. So right there, where it's 2 inches up from the bottom. And then I want to draw a line between where that 2-inch mark is and the folded corner, the folded lower corner. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line. Then I take my scissors and I cut right on that line. So I'm cutting all 4 pieces of fabric all at once. And when I open it up, I'm looking at exactly what my pocket will look like. Now I need to pop it over to the sewing machine and sew on down, and I will meet you there in just a sec. Okay, so I set my needle right in the center. So I have about a 3/8 inch seam allowance that I'm working with, and I'm going to go ahead and start sewing. Now I want to show you something once we get to the end of this line. So watch this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and start. I always go too fast. We're going to start sewing on down, keeping the fabric parallel with the edge of the presser foot. We're going to get down to this corner, and what I do is I don't go off the fabric. I actually get down to close to the edge and I lift my presser foot. Now my needle is still inside of the fabric, so you want to make sure that if you have a manual machine that doesn't keep your needle already plunged into the fabric when it stops, you need to take your hand wheel and bring it down into the fabric before you do this. So you lift the presser foot, you turn your fabric to be back into alignment with the edge of the presser foot, you drop your presser foot, and you keep on sewing. Okay, we're getting close to another edge, so we're going to stop. Again, we're going to lift our presser foot, needle is down, pivot it, drop that. We're still aligned with the edge of the presser foot and the edge of the fabric, and we're to our last pivot. We're going to stop, and we're going to pivot again, and sew on down. Now when you get to this point, a great way to save time and thread is to line your next pennant pocket up and do a chain stitch. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm giving it just a little bit of space in between, and there we go. So our pennant pockets are sewn and they look really cute, but we do need to clean up all these edges so that they don't fray as we use this year after year after year. Now we're going to go ahead and use pinking shears because these zigzagged shears are more than just decorative. They actually help prevent fraying. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pinking shears and we're going to cut all along the perimeter of our pockets, not cutting our stitch line. So let's go ahead and do that. So now all of my banner pockets have been completed and I've pinked the edges and I have a sweet little pocket to put my goodies in, and now I need to tuck it into my bias tape. Now with bias tape, especially extra wide double fold, what you'll find is that there are no raw edges, so it's really great for banners. What you do is you take your raw edge here and you are going to tuck it up into the fold that opens up just like that. Alright, so once I get it tucked into the fold, I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of pins and I will secure my pocket into the bias tape. And once I do that with every single one of my pockets, I am going to take it on over to the sewing machine. And I am going to go ahead and sew right on top of the bias tape. Now this is a great time to use either a wavy stitch or maybe a zigzag or even something decorative if you'd like. But you're going to secure all of those pieces into position and your banner is almost complete. Alright, so here comes the fun part. Here is a portion of my banner already done, and you can see this is where you really get to let your personality shine through and your style. So what I ended up doing was I made a little bow on top of one of these key tags that I got at the corner drugstore, and then I put a number on there to correlate, obviously, the countdown day that was coming up. And you could do all sorts of different things. If you wanted to put a button there, you could do that. The world is your oyster. But what I'd like to say is the best way to assemble them is by using Fabri-Tac, and if you've never heard me talk about it, hands down, it is the best craft glue on the planet. I have a link in my blog so you can even order yourself some, but I am telling you it is the only craft glue that I work with. So what I did is I went ahead and glued my my tag directly to the fabric, and that is staying forever. So that's how I assembled the rest of my my banner, and I think it looks pretty cute. I'm pretty happy with it. Our holiday countdown banner is done, and I hope you found it as much fun as I did. So keep this in mind. You don't only have to use this for the holidays, but you can also use it for a birthday party countdown, or maybe a Valentine's Day party, or like we did just the other day, we ended up using it as Gratitude Garland, and we had a banner during Thanksgiving, and we put little notes and treats inside of it for each of our guests. So keep that in your back pocket because it's a great idea and a really fun way to celebrate any holiday season. So as always, the best way to follow us is through our newsletter. So make sure you're signed up for that. And better than that, make sure you open your newsletter because we always have little goodies and gifts and treats and sometimes even a giveaway like we did last week. So make sure to do that. And then also follow us if you want on social media. Instagram is always fantastic, because I love to preview what I am going to be working on Instagram, as well as our YouTube channel. We love subscribers there. So definitely check us through social media. And thank you so much for being here. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday season. We'll see you real soon. Bye.